Hey, welcome back to Whitetail Garage. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate or don't celebrate, I hope everything's going good for you this year, given what 2020 has been for us so far. It's a few days after Christmas, and I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but Santa delivered. So I'm posting this video ahead of a couple of other videos that I've created, so pay no attention to what's going on behind me in the car there. That's a little peek into what's coming up. Today, I want to get those bolted on, see what they look like. Get rid of the old turbines that are on the car now. These are the SVE Drag Comp Wheels from LMR, the new ones. And then this particular tire size, if you can make that out. There we go. P275 60R15s for the rear. So that's not the ones that normally come in the kit, but LMR ran out of stock after I had placed the order, and they were kind enough to swap those tires for me, which in the end I actually kind of wanted the bigger tires anyway. My fenders are already rolled in the back, so it should fit. In the past I was running a 28 by 10.5 inch tire back there, so this is pretty close to that, so it should fit no problem. But it's been a while, so we'll see if my memory is serving me wrong. Alright, that's it. They're on. I really like the way they look. Yeah, they fit perfect. There's no rubbing anywhere. The ride height right here, I'm not real sure about. This feels like it's a little high. You know, I've got 3.5 fingers in there. It feels like it's too high. It's the EBOK, however you say it. EBOK drag launch kit. So that's those springs in the front, and then it has the Coney adjustable struts. And granted, it's been sitting without a motor for 17 years, so I don't know if that has done anything to it. I don't know if that's bad for the shocks. I don't know if that damaged anything. I don't know if it just needs to settle in. I'm not sure. So if you've got any ideas or insight in that, leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Otherwise, for now, I guess I'll just let it sit, and then once I get it going down the road, we'll see how it handles and reacts. But the back looks like it rides perfect. I'll take you back there. I mean, this, if anything, this might even be a little high, but I don't think it's too bad given the size tire. But it's got a nice clearance all the way around. Doesn't rub anything. I've already removed the quad shocks. I mean, that's part of why it doesn't rub anything. But as you can see, I have the extended studs. So I went with the kind of the acorn open lug nuts. And I went ahead and did that all the way around. I really would have liked to have put black lug nuts on it rather than the chrome. But I needed open-ended here anyway, so I thought I'll just go open-ended all the way around. That'll kind of give it that black look because you'll see the studs anyway. So anyways, I like the way it looks so far. Let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and more content coming. You'll be getting caught up on this, how far we've gotten here. More videos coming on that. And then hopefully we'll get this thing put together quickly. One of the things that I wanted to catch you guys up on is I do have a deadline for this build, and I haven't talked about it before now, but the last week or last weekend in February of 2021 is a hot rod run that I want to try and make. It's for a good cause, and it's a poker run, so it's a lot of fun. A lot of guys get together and do it. It's called the Hobbs Hot Rod Run. This is their 10th anniversary in 2021. It happens in South Texas. So I'm trying to get this all built by then, and so I'm working hard to get that done. And I'm pretty close. What scares me is with supply chain issues due to the pandemic, it's getting hard to find some of the parts I need. And the biggest part that I need that I can't find is an entire fuel system. The Aeromotive fuel kit out there, I can't find it anywhere. It's nowhere in stock. So the car doesn't have a fuel system at all in it anymore. It did have basically what is the A1000 fuel system, but it was the pump outside the fuel tank. It isn't the in-tank pump that they sell now. I sold that whole kit, including the fuel tank, back a long time ago, 17 years ago. And so I need to get the whole fuel system all the way from the tank all the way up to the front. And the only thing I have is some fuel rails that came with the intake, came with the engine that I bought. And so that system I can't find. It's not in stock anywhere. And I've looked at maybe doing the On3, components of the On3 fuel system. I've also looked at the 4 fuel system. My big concern with those two, I'm not sure about their availability yet because both of their websites are just less than ideal, I guess you could say. They don't give you a ton of information, and I haven't called them yet, so I don't know if they're even available. But they have the 0304 fuel tank, and so you have to modify your filler neck. And I don't know if you know, but I reached out to Aeromotive, and according to Aeromotive, if this is wrong, please drop a comment, but according to Aeromotive, the fuel tank that comes in their A1000 kit for an 87 to 93 Mustang gives you the 0304 fuel hat capability to use with their A1000 intake pump, but it bolts right up to one of these cars, so you don't have to modify the fuel neck. I asked them specifically, do you have to modify the fuel neck? And they said, no, it bolts right in. So that was kind of a big deal for me because I've seen the way a lot of people have had to modify them, and it's just not great. And if you don't modify them, and if you don't do it correctly, you run into issues where you can't fill the tank up very well, or it hits air bubbles and it burps a lot. It's just a real pain. So I'd really like something that's going to bolt right in. And so what I was thinking is I would go with an Aeromotive fuel tank at a minimum, Aeromotive fuel pumps at a minimum, and then the rest of the fuel system, I don't really care where it comes from because to me, I mean, we can argue it, but they're all basically the same when it comes to fittings and fuel lines, right? So if I could source that elsewhere, I would do that. And in fact, if I source Aeromotive tank, fuel pump, and regulator, and then On3 fuel system, I actually come out to be $400 or $500 cheaper than if I were to go the whole A1000 kit, and I get the dual pumps and the availability to put 3 pumps in it, running the On3 fuel hat. My big problem with the 4 fuel hat is the fact that they have to certify it, and so they won't give you the fitting to go from 2 pumps to 3 pumps. So if you buy a 2-pump fuel system from them, then you have to turn around and send your fuel hat off to them. Then they install a 3rd fuel pump and send it back. And I just think that is just a horrible design. What that does is guarantee a customer has to come back to you. And if you have a good product, you don't have to do things like that to guarantee a customer comes back to you. That's my opinion. You guys may think something different, but I don't think that's a good partnership to force people into having to come back to you for something as simple as a fuel pump and a fuel hat. I mean, I'm sorry, there's nothing crazy critical about that. And so the only reason in my mind why you would do that is to force a customer to come back to you. And I don't think that's good business. So because of that, I have a real hard time working with the 4 fuel system. Not only that, it's not designed for this car, right? So it's designed for, I think their earliest kits are for 96 and up. So no matter what, I'm having to modify and hope for the best. So I'm really leaning towards the Aeromotive fuel system. I think that's the easiest plug and play. Or some combination of just fuel lines and fittings from one of these other places, or sourcing it myself, and then the Aeromotive fuel tank and Aeromotive regulator and fuel pumps. So anyways, that's what I'm struggling with. I have a real concern that I won't be able to make it. You know, I've still got interior components that I need to get squared away. Obviously, you see the engine still has a lot of work to do. All the electrical, as far as the ignition system, still needs to be done. I haven't done any of that. So in fact, we can kind of look at my list here, right? Looking at the list, everything that's got a line through it means that I've gotten the parts for it. If it's been erased, that means I've handled it. So you can see I've only got a couple of things that I've erased. But this is that rear. I was concerned about the springs in the car from it sitting for so long, but it looks like, if anything, the front springs may be an issue. I'm not sure. So I don't know how much I need to worry about that. Door alignment, the bumper repairs, wheels and tires. I can actually erase that off the list. Look at that. Look at that. We got something we can erase. It's been there so long it won't erase. Windshield's cracked. I don't know if I showed that. The windshield's pretty badly cracked, and I'm not sure how that happened, but it is cracked and needs to be replaced. Headlights and fog lights are bad. Seat belts, I'm probably going to put stock seat belts back in it. I don't know that I'll ever go... I don't know that I'll take this car fast enough to run 5-point harnesses anymore. I don't want to have to deal with keeping up with them, with the inspection of them as well. And they're not DOT approved, so really I can get a ticket for them anyway if I'm driving this thing around on the street. And at this point, that's kind of the plan, is just a sunny Sunday kind of, you know, car, or a track car, or a hot rod run type event car. So paint, window switch panels is still needed. I'm not going to worry about the roll bar mod anytime soon, or rear seats anytime soon. Tint, the tint's pretty bad, but I could go to the hot rod run with the tint the way that it is. Steering wheel's fine for the hot rod run. I need to get the shifter boot and bezel because, again, I went automatic before. Now I'm going back to stick, and I don't have those interior parts anymore. More minor interior stuff. So, I mean, we're close, but we're still pretty far away. I need to do the exhaust wrap. I've got that coming. I just ordered that today. So I want to wrap the exhaust. I don't know, a lot of you guys are going to think, oh, that's going to ruin the exhaust. I'm not terribly worried about that. This turbo kit I got at a great price in combination with the engine, but there's some pretty gnarly looking welds on the exhaust on the exhaust side of this kit. So I don't know if it was a custom built kit or if they modified it in any way. I'm not sure, but I'm going to get all the rust off of it that exists, give it a nice fresh coat of paint, and then go ahead and wrap them. That's going to give me both the good look of what a wrapped header looks like. I personally think that looks really cool. But then you also, of course, get the performance of it. And then for me, in this situation, I'm also covering up some of the ugliness of that paint trim. Hood pins. My hood pins are really rusty, so I probably need to get some new ones before I go showing the car off. So I've just got to pick out the ones that I want. I was looking at those push button ones, but you have to take such a big chunk out of the bottom layer to get that nut through, and it only clamps down on the top layer. And I'm just worried about spider cracking in the fiberglass if I slam that hood down and causing issues there. So I haven't decided yet. I might go with those. I might not. If not, I mean, you'll see them on the channel. I do want to go with black. Right now they were chrome. See, they're the chrome ones. And they're just, I mean, rusty and just old, messed up. And the pins and the clips are even worse. But anyway, so I got to get all this done before February in order to run the car on the hot rod run. So got a lot of work. And plus, I don't know what gremlins I'm going to run into. I did get the battery and I need to hook it up just to see what happens. But I've got a lot of electrical that I need to do. I got to get the MSD wired. So yeah, I am concerned because today, when I'm filming this, is December 28th. And I've got basically a little less than 2 months to get all this work done. So it's going to be tough. It can be done. My biggest concern is the fuel system, getting that fuel system here in time. Just wanted to do a quick video on those wheels, kind of catch y'all up. Again, more content to follow. I've got quite a bit that I need to edit and get out there, so stay tuned, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about these new wheels. I really like them. I think they look better in person than they did online. I was really on the fence about them, but I think they look great. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.